Italian botch job. Notch here. Now, Italians are known around the world for certain things. They're known for absolute shit shows in their parliament. They're known for putting football above everything else in life. And they're known for doing this a lot. But one thing Italians do get right is food. And the way Italian food becomes so disrespected across the world in the way they're interpreted is just bizarre. Now, I'm from a part of Italy up in the north called Emilia-Romagna, which has cities such as Modena, Bologna, Parma. Parma, obviously known for its cheese and its ham. Bologna, known obviously for its spaghetti bolognese. No, it's not. Bolognese sauce is only served in Italy in lasagna. What you tend to have is a sauce with lots of different cuts of meat in it, and it's usually done with loads of onions, so loads of celery, loads of carrots, and then a very rich tomato sauce boiled down and cooked for hours until it's all absolutely melting, and then gets served as ragu, and that's usually with egg tagliatelle or short pasta such as penne. Bolognese sauces, the mint sauce that we know, and in Emilia-Romagna it's usually done with pork, but in different parts of Italy you get all the different meats using it. You have beef, you can have pork, you can have lamb, or even a mix of the three, but it's only done in lasagna. And this idea that the rest of the world are going, oh, Italian food, bolognese, yes, spaghetti bolognese, spag bowl, innit? No. Another sauce that gets butchered around the world is the Roman dish of spaghetti carbonara. So this actually goes with spaghetti, but the way the world does this, now I'm a professional chef, and I've had to have massive arguments with other fellow chefs about what goes into carbonara. They tell me it's cream, or it's parsley, and you put butter, and you put all this other shit in there. No. What goes into carbonara, first of all, is guanciale, which is a cured pig's cheeks, and it's diced up in a similar way to pancetta. If you don't have guanciale, pancetta can be forgiven. And also pecorino cheese, again, can be forgiven if you end up using parmesan, but it's mainly pecorino for its particular flavour. And eggs. That's it. And there's this thing about, oh, we're taking the yolks out of the egg and just using the yolks. That's just a modern thing. The traditional recipe has whole egg, and you mix it up and you whisk it like crazy with the grated cheese, and you go crazy about it, get it folding up for fuck's sake. And the diced guanciale or pancetta just goes into a pan dry. Then once that's cooked, you take it off the heat, but you leave it on top of the actual stove where you cooked it. Add the spaghetti, add the mix of the egg and the cheese, mix it right up, stick it straight on a plate and eat it immediately. Put loads of black pepper in it and put loads of extra pecorino on the top. Perfect. What you don't put in it is butter or parsley or garlic or bechamel sauce, and absolutely no mushrooms. Now, there are some Italian dishes that are actually American and have absolutely nothing to do with Italy. One is spaghetti and meatballs. Another thing where you have this meat dish going with spaghetti. Spaghetti doesn't ever go with that kind of sauce. Meatballs is just an American thing. In Italy, you have polpette, which is meatballs, and that tends to go with potatoes. Mac and cheese is another one that's actually I don't have much of a problem with. Mac and cheese can be very, very good, and it's the one time you can actually put cheddar in with pasta. The mac and cheese obviously can be the different types of small pasta, elbow macaroni or maccheroni in Italy, etc., etc. Do it with the bechamel, do it with loads of cheese. Maybe in France you put something like Gruyere instead, but cheddar is absolutely fine on this. It works really well. But again, it's American or British. Now, I'm not going to get too mad about the idea of having chicken with pasta. In Italy, it's actually generally scorned, but to be perfectly honest, they do have something called scalopa milanese, which is veal escalope served with spaghetti. You can have that if you substitute the veal for chicken. It's not the worst crime in the world. But if you're going to invite Italian friends round to your house and have a lovely evening of chicken with cream, garlic, parsley, fettuccine, and then calling it Alfredo, they're probably going to disown you. Alfredo is another example of American bullshit. Fettuccine all'Alfredo in Italy does exist, but it's the very, very simple working class dish of fettuccine, butter, and cheese. Now, we can't talk about Italian food, of course, without talking about the glorious conception of cheese on toast, otherwise known as pizza. There's different types of pizza around the world, but if you go to somewhere like Italy, you're basically going to have Naples style pizza or Roman style pizza. The Roman one is very, very thin and crispy. The Naples one is done very, very quickly with a beautiful, slightly burned base, but still mega, mega soft in the middle. Some nice swimming sauce on top of it. But the one mistake everybody makes about food like this is that it's supposed to be mega simple. Pizza was invented for Queen Margherita, just to have something very, very quick as a snack, basically. So that's where the margherita pizza comes from, and it's simply just the bread with some tomato and the cheese, and you put you're very, very careful with the toppings. But what people seem to think pizza is here is, let's go overboard with the toppings. Oh my god, the CD section, let's get down on top of there. Oh, gotta empty out the entire cupboards of the fucking kitchen. Here you go, pile it up. Your wardrobes, get the clothes out, put it on top. Toppings. No. The idea of pizza is to have an equal amount of flavour and texture of the bread base, of the tomato sauce, of the cheese, and of the toppings. When you go into a restaurant and you are there complaining, is that all you get for the toppings? That's actually what you're supposed to get. Now, you have a place in Naples called L'Antica Pizzeria da Michele. Now, this place has become world famous after Julia Roberts decided, oh my god, this is the best thing in life ever, in the film Eat, Pray, Love. You now have people queuing up throughout the year, from anything from 45 minutes to 5 hours, in order just to enjoy a choice of two different pizzas, margherita or marinara. Marinara doesn't mean seafood in Italy when it comes to pizza. It's just tomatoes, garlic and oregano, I think. Margherita obviously is the other choice, and people are dying to taste this. Now, there's a place up the road called Trianon, which I've been to, and that was originally the place to go in Italy for pizza. It's still great. You can go there. You're guaranteed a table. It's never stupidly busy, and you have a choice of many different toppings, and you can enjoy the proper taste of Naples pizza without having to wait all day for it. The good thing now is that there are places around the world that Neapolitans have moved to, and they're opening up their own pizzerias, and they're giving you pizza how it should be. Having said that, American style pizza, I'm not going to go too crazy about. They've adapted it, they've churned it into something else, and to be fair, some of it is very, very good. Now, of course, I could go into the whole argument about pineapple on pizza, but to be honest, there's certain other things that people put on pizza that I'll never understand. I mean, barbecue chicken. Again, that falls into the whole trap of, oh, let's do a meat feast, let's just throw everything in the fucking fridge on pizza and pretend it's nice. You're not eating pizza if you're doing that. But pineapple on pizza, you know what, guys? It's absolutely fine. You can put pineapple on pizza, no problem at all. So long as we can start putting pineapple in shepherd's pie, Cornish pasties, and Lancashire hot pot. But what is this other thing that people keep serving with pizza? I mean, garlic bread. Do you know garlic bread isn't a thing in Italy? No one makes it. The nearest you get is on focaccia, which is a completely different culture in itself. You don't normally have salad, and you certainly don't have dips. I mean, garlic dip, barbecue dip. Ooh, let's put the thing in. That's just an excuse because you want to throw fucking weird stuff into your stuffed crust. There is this thing about water and wine being served at a table in Italy, whether it's a restaurant or whatever, or at home. Now, in a pizzeria, you can make exceptions. You can have it with beer, you can have it with Coke, you can have it with chinotto. Doesn't really matter. Other dishes, it's kind of a no-no. A good wine and a good water, sparkling or still, nice. Also, when you go at a table in Italy, you get like a basket served at the table with different cuts of bread or some cut baguette or something like that, or sourdough. Lovely. What you're not going to see is another bowl next to it with loads of butter. This is something I'm very, very flexible about, though. I mean, putting butter on bread is a staple in most other countries. And my mum, she loves having butter on her bread as well. I mean, we don't have much of a problem with that, you know. We're more liberal in our family. Another culture that gets weirded out to fuckery is coffee. In Italy, if you go to a place called a bottega, which is usually a mix between a bar and a cafe and even a bit of grocery, you'll have a bar there and you can order whatever you want. But normally, if you ask for a coffee, you will instantly get an espresso. Espresso is life in Italy. You down it in one, you throw them €1, and then you chat to the nearest stranger next to you for about 2 minutes and then fuck off. You can get other Italian coffees, though. You can get Americano, which is basically espresso, but you get a separate cup with hot water and you add to it as much as you want. What you don't get is latte. You go around Europe and you ask for a cafe latte and you will get your coffee and you will get your milk in the coffee and it's there in a nice big cup and you enjoy, job done. So when did that change to latte? Is this some kind of thing that happened in Richmond or Highgate and like Tarquins and Jacasta's going, oh, you know what, we should change the culture here. I'm sick and tired of using these long words. Let's just call it latte. It's pronounced latte. Now, I could be particular about the way you spell Italian words. I'm not really, but I do find it hilarious when I go somewhere and I see somewhere selling a cappuccino spelt with one P and one C. It's pretty easy to add the extra P and C, surely. Another thing about Italy is that, well, you're not really going to get these American brands over there. Well, Starbucks opened their first store in Italy, in Milan, in 2018. It actually looks very palatial. It's still going. People are very, very divided in Italy. They still want their traditions rather than, like, you know, they want their coffee served in something this size, not a bucket. Costa Coffee was actually two guys from my home city of Parma that came over here in 1971 to London, called Costa. And they opened the place, and now, of course, that's now become a world brand. It's been taken over by Coca-Cola, I think, and you have it everywhere. This culture exists. I'm not going to kill it. I've been to them, but it's not really proper Italian coffee. Another thing I find hilarious is the word panini. Yes, you can be very, very literal about this, but for goodness sake, panini is the Italian word for sandwiches. So if you're going somewhere and saying, can I have a ham and cheese sandwiches, please? Well, that's what you're asking for. So there's your induction into not having to constantly fuck up Italian food. Enjoy it. Either that or go back to your pot noodles. It's fine. No problem for me. Trust the Notchsta. See you next time.